Are you a leader who feels like you're drowning in distractions, but still trying to be intentional for your team, your mission, and yourself? You're not alone. Let's talk about how to cut through the noise and lead with clarity. At Difference Makers Coaching, we pride ourselves on helping leaders cut through the noise and become more intentional through better decision making, effective communication, and true balance. Today, I want to share some of my personal techniques that help me stay intentional in 3 key areas: time, processes, and people. Before we dive in, we need to define noise. For us, noise is anything that pulls you away from being deliberate with your time, your people, your decisions, your communications, your meetings, or your systems. Noise comes in many forms: the daily email slog, unnecessary, unstructured meetings, personal distractions, your phone, commitments, even family stress. Ultimately, noise is anything that takes you out of the present and steals your focus. Today, I want to share how I fight that noise personally and how you can too. In my current role as an executive officer, I lead a large, diverse team. I'm the connective tissue between our staff and the boss's priorities. That creates a lot of drive-by moments, from face-to-face drop-ins, emails, chats, phone calls, messages across multiple networks. If I don't control those interactions carefully, they'll control me. When I move into a new role, there are a few techniques I always use. I gently say, no, not now, come back later, or when exactly do you need a decision? These help create white space I need to think and stay deliberate. I block prep time on my calendar. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. I teach my team about information criticality, what's urgent and what's not. Joe McCormack talks about this in Quiet Works. In the military, we use critical information requirements to define when it's time to interrupt a leader and when it's not. You can define your own version based on your situation. Sometimes I simply close my door, or if you don't have that luxury, a polite do not disturb sign works wonders. But here's the bigger truth. Intentional time is where we find quiet. It's where we reject the dangerous myth that busyness equals productivity. Joe McCormack's Quiet Works dedicates 4 entire pages to the importance of quiet, citing leaders like Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Susan Cain, and even the prophet Isaiah. All of them stress that without quiet, you can't lead well. In my view, being intentional with your time is the most important of all the areas, because without pouring into yourself first, you can't pour into others. You won't have the margin to improve your processes or truly care for your people. That's why every morning I remind myself, fill yourself up so you can pour into others. Process intentionality is closely tied to time, but it impacts our people the most. In many organizations, especially the military, business gets mistaken for productivity. Meetings pile up, people stay late doing tasks they could have delegated, but real leadership requires creating space for thinking and innovation. Here are 3 key processes I focus on. First, meetings. If you can't define a clear input, output, or goal for a meeting, you probably don't need it. Meetings should move decisions, products, or innovation. Evaluate meetings when you get a new boss, and ruthlessly cut the fluff. 2, decision making. Build cultures where dissent is safe and feedback is encouraged. Ask questions and then stay quiet. Don't defend yourself or justify. Collaboration creates ownership and prevents toxicity later on. Last, recognition and defense. Great leaders give away praise and defend their people when needed. It's about building trust, not about hoarding credit. Processes should help people thrive, not suffocate. This part, investing in people, is what moves us from transactional leadership to transformational leadership. I learned these lessons as a military leader, where people are more important than hardware, but they translate directly to the civilian world. As highlighted in $1 Trillion Coach, great leadership requires investment in our people, regardless of the environment. Here's what I've learned. Get to know your people professionally, but more important, personally. Understand their strengths and their hopes and dreams. Support their career goals. Help them be ready for their next opportunity, not just the one they're in now. Practice leadership bedside manner. Everyone has a different story, and those stories shape their contributions. Get out of your office, walk around, and ask questions. Listen deeply. You'll be amazed at what you learn and how much trust you build. Here's what I want to leave you with. First, identify your personal values and use those to stay aligned to what is most essential. Focus on that. Second, edit your life ruthlessly. Omit the needless and create more space. Finally, find solitude. Time to think, time to breathe, time to be intentional. We live in a world that says do, but real leadership requires pause. At Difference Makers Coaching, we exist to help you find that clarity and to lead yourself, your team, and your family with purpose. If you're struggling to cut through your noise, I'd love to help. Visit our website and schedule your free consultation. Let's work together to unlock the leader you're meant to be. Fill yourself up so you can pour into others. Thanks for learning with us today.